Right. So just a quick review on what we are going to have news-wise today. So it's quite a big day, by the way, and especially the end of it. So we'll be busy with FOMC, FOMC, meeting minutes, so something will definitely happen then. So what it means that, well, the day will be noisy, quite volatile, and all the analysis basically might not work. It can, but it's not necessarily will. So you have to be careful. And we also have a good news coming. So the market is expected to be volatile in 20 minutes. So average earning index, climate count change, and unemployment rate. All right, so another 20 minutes wait, and then we'll see. Well, will we be able to trade it or not? So I also will discuss, well, like 5 minutes before. Not sure that I will trade it, but at least I will kind of comment it. So it will be fun. All right. Okie dokie. So let's start with the routine. So what do I see with Aussie? Okay. Looking for buying opportunities here. Well, short-term target, well, the final short-term target, I would say 0.77620. Regarding these targets on my charts and this review market conditions, etc., well, as you can see, all this, the levels I'm plotting on the chart, they are valid only for a certain session only. So, well, the only way for this target to be reached is during the very or high volatile market. So something like here it was, and still, this is the maximum range for the current session, actually. So only if something extraordinary will happen, one of these levels will be broken during the session mentioned. So basically, all these wide levels, they are to be kind of traded during the, let's put it this way, week time. So for a week they are kind of valid, not the levels itself, but the areas around them. So as you can see, well, we have a level here, 2 levels here, and this one. Yes, so it means that the whole area has to be traded during the week. And as you can see, well, my target is actually just a little bit above it. Why is it here? Because, well, in case if the price will break through this level, we have to wait. So what can actually happen? It can be a false breakout. Then this level will be triggered and the price will continue its down movement, or it can be a real breakout and then the price will just continue its up movement. So that's basically something what you, well, if you're following me, that's something what you have to know, and that's the way to follow it. Again, and when I'm expecting something to happen around the level, what it is first a price action move, so a reversal of the price. Second, I do expect a confirmation. And when I have all that, then I'm just using a limit orders, market orders. Me personally, I don't use a breakout order, but yesterday I did have a talk with my fellow trader. And, well, basically we've decided that, well, I sort of have to implement it because, well, sometimes when I'm expecting for a like a short-term reversal, for a bounce, well, it doesn't really happen, and then I'm just missing a trade. So basically, that's all right with me, but for those guys who are following me, so I have to create some certain rules that you can actually use more signals to trade, and then you'll be able to kind of well, I have to create the whole kind of rule system how you have to do it, because it will be a bit more risky than trading bounces, you know, and of course risk reward ratio is different, so you have to know about it as well. So I have to create all these rules about money management, risk management, you know, etc. So it will be on, just follow me and you'll get it all. All right, so for now I do expect bounces kind of from the bottom of the channel. So the very first, I didn't mention it here, I didn't draw it here, but because, well, I'm expecting a volatile market today. So I do believe that this level will be broken down, 0.76490, and we'll be able to buy it from one of these two levels here. So few long entries are possible here. So one is 0.76300 and another one is at 0.75990. All right, so that's two levels to wait and to kind of look at. That's for now. Okay, so let's have a look at euro dollar. So what do I expect here? Well, I do expect an up movement continuation. Well, why is it so? It's due to the past past performance. But the thing is that as we all know, well, Funk is going to speak today, so we do have their minutes, and what it means, it's well, basically the short-term target is very low, you know, it's not high. So, and it might be triggered either way, even if the market will go down. And why? Let me explain you. So basically, we do have this level here, which is a high, you know, of yeah, it's yesterday's high, basically, yeah. And just a second. All right, so what we do expect that if the price will go down, you know, especially it happens during the volatile market. So basically, when the price is going, well, when the price is changing direction, especially when it's changing, we do see lots of a long-term, I would say, accumulation, you know, and I know that there is accumulation and distribution, etc., you know, but what I call accumulation, basically, accumulation is when the price is in range and when one of the positions, well, not one, how can I say, is accumulated, basically. Well, you will understand what I mean. So basically, in case if the price or the big players or something like this are going to go down from here, they will accumulate their short position for a while. If in case if the market was going in one direction, for in this case it's up for a while as well. So that's why basically they are kind of accumulating this position, and this position is short. Okay, so that's something what I wanted to tell you, and basically how the market starts to go against the direction, the main direction. They have to collect as much volume as possible, you know, and because they are kind of accumulating their position. So if the position is huge, then they will accumulate it longer, and that's it. They can't just enter the market with the whole lot, basically. All right. So that's why these accumulations are actually happening. And what is happening at the moment? Well, we do have this week and we do have lots of volume above it. Why? Well, we do have a volume level here, we do have a volume level here and here, you know, and but without these volume weighted levels, you can always tell it because, well, lots of stop losses and buy stops will be above this kind of wicks, I would say, you know, and tails. So that's something what we have to watch here. And okay, just a second, I have to do something. Okay, so to go down, the price has to go up first. That's something. And to go up, the price has to go down first. So that's the main rule I use in my trading. It seems to be quite good one. All right, so that's something what I would recommend you to use as well. Okay, so we have 9 minutes for a pound. Let me review it then before the news. All right, so it's euro dollar, and the next one is pound in a queue. All right, so what to expect here? Well, do not expect a huge move here at the moment, but as you can see, well, to go down, the price will trigger all the stop losses above, and then will continue its down movement. Of course, well, there are a few ways on how to trade it. So let me show them all to you. So basically, I will use a different kind of line style just for this kind of occasion. All right. Okay, so I know that a few of you are using very kind of low time frame, to trade the news itself. So for me, what I was doing normally, so I was always using a higher time frame, higher level time frame. So I was using like 1 hour, 4 hours, or even daily time frame when I used to trade news. I don't really like to do it now, so that's not something what I'm always doing here. But again, the system on how you can actually trade it is always the same. I mean, no matter what kind of what type of trading you do. So at the moment, I will discuss this very short-term view, well, basically on this kind of trading. So most of the traders, they do use a 5-minute charts, and they're using the most recent highs and lows to trade the news. So they're placing just like let's say 1 minute before the news or 30 seconds before the news. It's really important, because otherwise all the levels will be triggered just before, and then will you be right or will you be wrong? Then it's just 50-50 situation. All right, so first they're placing buy stop order here, sell stop order here. Okay, so this is the very first, well, can't see anything at the moment, to be honest. So let me make it bigger. Okay. Oh, that's better. So sell stop here, buy stop here. Okay, that's it. So it's using like 5-minute time frame, and that's kind of one of the ways to trade the news. And I mean, it's the most popular, not the best one. Why it's not the best? Because, well, due to the slippage, basically. So you're placing a buy stop here, and it doesn't mean that your order will be open at this level here. So the order might actually open like 30 pips later or 50 pips later, and it's okay. I mean, that's how the market works. All right, so another way of trading is to place actually a sell limit at this high and buy limit at this low. So that's something what I prefer to do when I'm trading the news. So why I don't really want to trade this news here is because we are kind of waiting for a big news coming later today, and then we can actually use the well, what can I say, market price action that will happen during the day to use it in a better way for a let's say evening trade. So something like this. So I hope that you do understand what I'm trying to say. All right, so so another way of trading it is to place a limit order to sell here, yes, and limit order to buy from here. All right, so the price is going down at the moment, and it is still, all right, let me switch to this. So we have 6 minutes left. Before the news. So I actually might trade it, but with a very short, with a very low volume, basically. So just to give it a try, you know, with a losing perspective. So something like I'm almost sure that I will not win this battle because, well, again, when we are waiting something bigger, the news is not rational as always, you know. So that's something you have to know as well. So it might be good, it might be not. So it's always a gambling. So basically, when I was in a proprietary company, then well, there was a rule: don't trade during the news time. So I mean, we did have a few traders, that a couple of traders, I would say, that used to trade it, but that was like on some certain instruments, and they were. We always had a squawk box as well, so that's something. Well, if you are ready to pay for a squawk box, then yes, then it's good. But if you want just to use a free version, then it will be delayed for a couple of minutes, and it doesn't really make a sense to kind of use it. So only thing what you can actually do for free is to use a price action that the market is showing you just before the news, and to do it, you just have to be careful first of all. So what I prefer to do, and that's something what is working, but the news has to be very kind of strong and powerful. That's something what I would tell you first of all. And okay, so what it means, it's good to trade breakouts, but it has to be a much longer time frame, by the way. So let's switch to, well, 1 hour or 4 hour chart or something like this. So what do we have here? Again, it's 4 minutes before the news. So we do have a kind of down moving pattern here. And well, it does look like the short entry has already been applied here, you know. So let me make it bigger that you can see it as well, that you can see what I see. So yes, as you can see, well, we did have a reversal pattern, and with this wick, yes, with this tail, the limit orders that has been placed at the this opening and closing prices has already been triggered. Well, I would expect for something like this during the kind of volatile market, so during the volatility itself. So I wouldn't place a limit order just before the news. So not a couple of hours before the news, because, well, it has happened like quite a while ago, by the way. And so what do we have here? So to buy stop, I would use this level on 4 hour chart at least, you know. But for this kind of moves, you have to wait for something. Well, not the wait, but the news has to be big. It's not big enough to bring this kind of move here to the market. So when you're trading breakouts, or if you really want to trade it and you want to catch a very strong move here, so let me actually, I will wait for 1 more minute, and I will sell it using a market order with a short stop loss and very small volume. Basically, that's something what I'm going to do now. I don't know I'm right or I'm wrong, but that's something what I'm going to do now here. All right. Okay. And so just to, you know, to kind of be there. The market is already volatile, so all right, so the price is going down. So for now, so we'll see what is going to happen next. Not much actually, so nothing major is happening. That's what it means. All right, so I do have a limit order at it's just been triggered, 305, the level I'm trying to sell at. Stop loss is like 10 minutes, 10, how can I say, 10 pips above. So it might be triggered and then I will lose just nothing. If not, then it will be good to start with a small profit. It's anyway better, you know, than nothing. All right. So, okay, I'll just leave it as it is. And just let's talk, because basically you can use this information to trade a bigger news today. So that's something what I will do basically today in the evening. So for now, my position is not moving anywhere actually. So, but that's good. All right. It is what it is. That's a good saying. All right. So hello, guest 70. Hello, hello. All right. So what's we do trade. So what we do have to remember, by the way, so and that's something what I know and what I got to know with an experience I have. So I don't know why, but in most of the cases, that's a good question. Do you want me to buy? Do you want me to sell? It all depends on what you trade. You see, the thing is that I sold it, but I do have my trading methodology, and if I'm wrong, that I don't really care about it. So how can I offer you to do something? So I can only share a view. So my view is down, yes, here. Am I right or am I wrong? Well, I do have some sort of, let's put it this way, risk management system that if I'm wrong, that I'm not losing a lot. So I will cover it with, I will cover a few losses with only one trade. And it's not all about risk reward. So it's risk reward is just part of the game, and that's it. So at the moment I'm short. Okay, with a minimum size. Why? Because I'm waiting for a later news that are coming today during the US session. So that's something what I'm going to trade. Okay, so I've stopped to talk about it. So basically we do have a few things here. First, if the news is big, think wide. I've already told you about it during my kind of past webinars. Well, what it means, it's always use like the levels that are brought to you by the higher time frame, basically. And well, I've just started to talk about it, but didn't finish. You always have to know that this is a time to get a better price. I don't know why it works. And it actually doesn't really matter the news is good or bad, but that's something what works in most of the cases. So basically, what I want to tell you is like, let's switch to 1 day time frame. It will be a bit better, and you will understand what I mean. So for example, what do we have here? We have, well, a very good actually buying opportunity here, you know? Very good. So it's a good signal to buy. Well, because I'm comparing the factors, so I'm not just following one time frame or something like this. My system is all about a few factors, starting with the monthly chart, etc. So for me, my system is telling me to sell still, but of course, well, it will be changed. It can be changed during the day as well. During the session, from session to session, it changes. So that's something what I do, and that's something what can actually happen. But well, when we see this kind of situation here, and when the big news is coming, so what normal trader will do? So not the normal trader, it's wrong to say that, but the idea is, of course, where is the best price to buy? Well, for example, we've decided to trade it, and we want to buy it. So where is the best price to buy? If we are expecting a very volatile market and a very big news, then the best price to buy is just these lows here. As we all know, sometimes it does happen, like here, for example. So we did have a reversal pattern, and the best price was well, it was this low, of course, but at least these two lows, So those guys who are trying to buy using a buy stop has been triggered with an ask price here. Well, as you can see, it's quite clear because they're at the one level, this level and this one level here. So everyone who has been placed a buy stop has been triggered. All the stop losses has been triggered as well. That's it. So those guys lost. So that was a time to, I don't know, was it the news or not, but just to give you an idea of what is happening. So during the news, we always have a very good opportunity to buy by the better price and to sell by the better price as well. So what it means that it's a time to use a limit orders and think wide, always think wide. So switch to one-day chart, switch to weekly chart, review what is happening, where are those main levels, and try to use them. That's the way to make a good money, but you have to change your mind first. Well, you have to know that you might actually lose this trade easily, so you might not be in. So just it will pass you, and that's it, And we also have to know that we might be wrong as well. But if we'll be wrong because we are giving some space for this news to make, well, the slippage is not going to kind of hit us or hurt us. So that's something you have to know as well. So if you think wide, your slippage is not going to hurt you. The slippage of your broker or whatever, so that's something what you have to know as well. So for today, well, what I would suggest, well, of course, FOMC is really kind of, it's going to be volatile. So think wide it's first. If you want to use a limit order, so review starting with the 4 hours, where is the best price to buy, best price to sell, and review what the market has already shown you, so you have to create some rules around it. So this news trading is a very huge subject, by the way, but we can always talk about it bit by bit, basically. Yes. All right. So for now, what I would advise you, well, it's not an advice, but well, something what I would recommend you, so when you are applying your own strategy, first think wide. I will repeat it hundreds of times that you will kind of sleep with this sound in your head. So think wide and just follow your trading system and use limit order, so that's use limit orders. It's much more profitable during the news trade. And don't be afraid if you haven't been in this trade at all at the end of it. So what I'm trying to say is that in case if the market is, well, did go in your direction and it didn't trigger your limit order or something like this, and you will start to think that basically how bad I am or something like this. And that's basically something you have to live with because it will happen a few times. And always remember that it's better not to be in a trade than to be in a losing trade, or than to have a kind of 70 pips slippage or something like this. And it can happen easily. All right, so let's talk about market, and then I will continue. Okay. So, right. So for today, think white. And it's all right not being in a trade before the evening. So that's fine. I mean, you can just wait for what is going to happen. All right. During the FOMC. All right. So what do I expect from gold at the moment? Okay. The gold. It does actually show us a very good reversal here. So it's a 15-minute chart. I don't really trade 15 minutes. So what I trade my longer term view. So for me, I'm going to buy it. So where I'm going to buy it and how I'm going to buy it. So I do have these buying levels, you know, so I'm watching these three levels. Why I'm watching this one, first of all? So I'm not going to buy it here because I do see a reversal pattern. And even though we had this double bottom here, or W-shape bottom, well, I'm not going to use it at the moment because I don't like this 15 minutes wick, basically, as you can see here. Well, it might be just because of the news that has been with this pound, you know, so the market has shaken a little bit. So that's why it has happened. So I will wait for two things. So I will wait for a confirmation of a reversal. So first, a reversal at one of these three levels. Not going to sell to buy it here because for me it will be like a review market condition or a control level for this one. So for now, I'm looking for buying opportunities here, and I want to see something like a reversal around this level. And it is possible because we do have lots of stops, I believe, here below this area. This level has already been triggered, but this one has not. So for now, waiting for this level to be triggered, then I will see. In case if I'll see some kind of reversal pattern around this area, then I will try to use it and I will try to buy it here. Okay, so normally what can we also always do? Well, I will just give you a short example here, and we'll see with the time. I mean, it's not during this webinar, but well, for example, some traders do use market orders to enter a trade, yes, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So, for example, we did have a reversal pattern here. This level has already been triggered. This was the same level as during the basically Asian session. The only thing is that, well, somehow my levels has been deleted from my system, and I'm not really happy about it, but that's something what has happened. What can I do? So, all right, just you can review my analysis that has been posted later or last day. So basically yesterday, yes. And so some people, they are using, right, I will return to what I'm saying. Some people do use like a limit orders. Some people do use market orders, stop orders, etc. Well, I will only talk about market orders and limit orders as well. So first of all, I'm always saying split your order. What does it mean? So you are placing the first part of your order here as a market order, and it's like 30% of your trade. So in case where is the point which will tell you that you are wrong in this situation? Of course, this low, but what it means doesn't mean that we have to place a stop loss just below it. For me, the stop loss will be below this level here. Why? Because well, this level has already been triggered with a bid price, and always have to think about spread. And well, of course, I will place with a very short stop loss a limit order here as well. So in case if I will have something like here, for example, we had a very good reversal confirmation here. And those of you who has already entered a market order only, you know, so if you have entered here with a market order and you didn't split your order, then your stop loss is huge, first of all, and you didn't have a chance to kind of make this position better, if you know what I'm trying to say. So what it is, we have to think about all these orders as about one order only. And what it is, you have to place another limit order always. So always split your position if you want. Well, for me, for example, I'm only using limit orders. So what is bad about using only limit orders, because I'm missing lots of positions, which is bad, lots of trades. You know, but if you are using these limit orders, so and you are splitting the position, all right, so you are wrong in this entry. It doesn't mean that you are wrong in the direction. So when the price will close below this level here, below this low, then you will be wrong in your entry here, and you will have kind of, the view is always a bit longer term, you know. So my view, I don't know how you trade, so but my view is a bit longer term, and even if the price will trigger my stop losses and will continue its down moves, I will still be trying to go up for the whole day. Most of the times it can change from session to session, but in most of the times during the one day I'm not changing my mind, even though my stop losses are triggered. So that's something what you have to consider as well. So here, if those guys who split the orders, they did enter the market order just with an expectation that the price will continue just up movement, and that's it. So something like this would happen here. And those of you who decided, well, if the price will kind of shake the market a little bit here and will continue with you know, with a small correction or something like this, they placed a limit order around this area. And when they did it, they were right actually, because, well, these limit orders, that's why we have these W-shaped patterns, you know. So the price returns to these offers around this area, you know, and then it goes up. And that's and this is another wave of the traders who want to enter using a market orders, you know, and they will place a limit order at these lows as well. So it's kind of that what it calls accumulation. So that's the accumulation of the long move here. At the moment, the price can trigger these stop losses here and can trigger this level, or it can go a bit further down here. And the whole thing is why you have to know and why you have to watch a longer term time frames or higher degree time frame, like 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, you know. You always have to know these main levels. And probably you have heard that during the strong levels, or let's put it this way, if the level is on 1 day chart, it will work definitely, but it will be wider. Why it will be wider? Because the accumulation itself will be wider as well. So you can't just buy kind of 10 billion of you know, ounces of gold here. So basically what you can do, you can kind of buy a little bit here, a little bit here. If the price will continue its down movement, you will buy a little bit here, and you have these control points, you know. And if you will split your orders like big guys do, then it will simply be much safer for you, you know. So that's something what you always have to think about. So split your order, use limit orders, use market orders. Well, you can use a buy stop orders, but as you can see, and sell stop orders, they are triggered lots of times, and well, you find yourself in a wrong boat lots of times as well. So that's something to remember as well. Okay, so that's my thoughts about gold. Let me talk about, all right, so Canadian or Frankie. All right, so Frankie still think that the price will continue its down movement, but the market is going to be shaky today. And well, we do have kind of, I would say, triple bottom here, by the way, you know, so 1, 2, 3. Again, it's not straight, you know, it's not horizontal, by the way, so which is not good. But again, something to be considered. In most of the cases, to go up, the price has to trigger this low here because lots of stop losses below it. And to go down, it has to trigger all the stop losses above these areas. So that's why I'm expecting this level to be triggered first before the price will continue its down movement. And even though if I'm wrong, then if I will use a limit order, then I will have an opportunity to exit it with at least zero, you know, zero loss, which will be quite good. But that's something what I will expect from here. Situation on Frankie. All right, so I do expect it. Well, my normal view is that the market is going to go down, but well, it can be changed after today's news. So you have to be careful here. All right, so okay. That's Frankie. Next. That's Frankie. Let's have a look at yen. What is happening here? All right. So what do I expect? I expect a down move here, and where I'm expecting it from, so I'm expecting it from these two levels again because of these highs. We can go a bit further, and we have these highs as well. So that's why this kind of, how can I say, these levels will be triggered if the price will continue its down movement. So no rush, don't try to sell it now. And again, if we have a news that will support dollar, then all this analysis that has been built during the past days will be changed today. So basically, we will have a better perspective. So that's why it's sometimes a good idea not to trade the news, because the thing is that if you're an active trader, then you'll be able to make money every single day. You know, so what I mean by that the market is not going away from you, and it doesn't matter how big moves, how big was the moves that you've missed. The good thing about market, any market at all, is that there will be market tomorrow as well, and you will be able to enter and make some money on it. So that's something what you always have to remember, and that's something what you always have to follow. So for me, some news like interest rate decisions, etc., well, using a stop orders, it's just a loser's game, I would say, because you're because of a slippage. Using a limit orders, it is a little bit of gambling here, you know, so you can be wrong actually. And if you'll be wrong, well, your stop loss can be slipped as well, so please remember it. And trading without stop losses is just wrong. Only if you are trading without margin, you know, one-to-one trades. So then yes, then you don't need stop losses at all. But that's investing, that's not trading. Okay. Fine, so that's something what to expect here. So I do expect that the price will continue its down movement, but we have to wait for the news to confirm. So it might be wrong, by the way. All right. Good. So that's yen. Oop. What's that? Okie dokie. So what do I have next here? So we've talked about Frankie, New Zealand, and Canadian. All right, New Zealand. So it might actually go up. Well, it's been in a range for a while, something what I don't really like. So we can try to buy it at this level here. So this is a critical level where the view will be changed in case if the price will go down. And this is also the level to try. So I would wait till the price will kind of move towards this level here. And then if I'll see a reversal patterns around 0.71824, then I will try to buy it here. Okay, so that's the area to wait for. Okay, and Canadian. So what do we have here? The price is moving up quite rapidly, which is good. But again, so the direction probably is right, as you can see. So I have been expecting it to go up today. This is a target. But I was expecting this level to be triggered first, and it didn't actually get here. So the price is just simply going up here. So that's why you can actually use a market orders and limit orders and split your orders. So the first entry always has to be with a lower volume. All right. Okay, just a sec. Okay, so first entry with a low volume, and then you are kind of okay, it's all good. And then you add on to position using a limit order. You know, it's always a good thing. Like, for example, here we were able to use this pattern here to enter the market. Well, we did have it's a small volume confirmation, or with this candle here. So that was another confirmation on a 15-minute chart with volume as well. So it's a tick volume, of course, but something to be considered as well. So don't ignore it. It's a good tool to use as well. So it's probably, if you want to talk about indicators, well, the only good indicator is this tick volume that you can use. All other things, they just simply repeat the price. This is not something what repeats the price, by the way. It does, but in a different way, completely different way. All right, so that's something what we can consider. And if you're a fan of market orders, then you were able to enter the market on the closure of this candle, which has been like 12 minutes ago, or this candle here, where you had a larger volume than the volume of the previous bearish bar here. Okay, so that's something what you were able to use, you're able to do. Okay, so what I will do next, so yes, in this case I didn't finish, sorry, just decided to jump from one to another. All right, so if you were using a market order to enter here, then you had to place a limit order to, for example, this place here, and gave it another like 20 pips stop loss for both of them. So it's not martingale, it's just you split your one order. So all these two entries, it will be only one order for you. So I'm not talking about martingale, and I do not support martingale at all. So I'm against it completely. That's something what will definitely destroy your account. Probably, yes, I'm bullish. I'm bullish on Canadian for now, and this is a target to be reached today. So it will be reached, and then we'll see what is going to happen next. But yes, for now, I'm bullish. Okay, so I will post the kind of naked volume and open interest data for you, that you can use it in your own analysis for, how can I say, for this later tonight trade, basically. Yes, so just follow me and you'll get it. Okay, guys, so that's all from me. I really hope that you did enjoy this webinar. Again, So really hope that you have listened, and you will kind of use this info to trade news later. Okay, guys, so thank you very much. Bye bye.